Hi, I'm Sailor Moon, Serena here, and today I'm going to talk about Rocky Johnson. Now, anyone who knows Rocky Johnson would know him from his time in the WWF, now WWE, as Soul Man Rocky Johnson. Also known as his time when he teamed up with Tony Atlas and when he became the first black team to ever win the WWE Strike Team or Hit Team winnings at the time. Yes, he was eventually would go on to be in the WWE Hall of Fame. Sadly he died not too long ago. Now, a lot of folks out there with last time anybody saw him in WWE would probably been in 1997 when him and his son, The Rock, also at the time known as Rocky Maivia, fought off Bob Backlund and the Iron Sheik after Rocky Maivia was getting beat up by the Sultan after he beat him at WrestleMania 13. Anyway, so what can I say about him? He came along during a time where it was still. He came around during a time where he came around. Let me get my thoughts. He came around during a time where there weren't really too many folks who were black. I mean, there were folks that were black, but during a time in wrestling where there weren't too many black folks, and if there were, they weren't really given the same booking or the same writing or the same fights the same way that everybody else was at the time. He came around and he started shifting all that. He joined the World Wrestling Federation, now World Wrestling Entertainment, probably in 1982, and he was there for some time. Now, it's true that he did one thing during his time in WWE that everybody knows about. His winning the WWE team winnings with Tony Atlas. That was the first time that ever happened. There would be other teams that would go on to do it after him and Tony Atlas, but if it wasn't for him, they would have been the first team, at least in WWE. Well, other things that he was also known for was that he also was the father of The Rock. At the time, Rocky Maivia, who took on the Maivia and the Rocky name to put on look for both sides of his kin. The Maivia kin that ran Maivia Championship Wrestling in Hawaii, and for his father, Rocky Johnson. So yeah, he had and you could tell that I was saddened to hear that. Yeah, he did keep busy for some time. He would stay in WWE for some time, training new wrestlers at one point. He would also do some work in OVW, which was the same thing. How did he die? Well, he had an ongoing illness. No, he didn't know what the illness was. His friends would keep on talking about how he would go to worship hall every Sunday, and then he'd be too ill and he wouldn't show up for those outings and stuff. And they kept saying you should go see the healer, and then he ended up dying. Whatever the illness is, no one knows, but it must have been something that he thought there was nothing. He thought he would just probably something that he thought that he would shake off. And sadly, it didn't. It didn't. The illness didn't stop. It just kept going, and he died. So I want to take this time to say my thoughts and prayers. My thoughts are with the Maivia kin, the Johnson kin, and anybody else during this time. And I'm sad to hear that he's dead. But he's up in heaven with God and Jesus. He's at rest now. He's at a good stead. He lived a good life. He did a lot of good for other folks. He opened the doors for anyone. He opened the doors for anyone who was black, but not just for anyone who was black. He opened the doors for anyone that wanted to follow their dreams. You know, he was a loving husband. He was a loving father, and he will be missed by everyone. I was sad to not make this film yet. Not that I wasn't. Not what I meant was when we heard about him, we were doing our fighting film, so that's why this film is a little late. But had to talk about it because I know everybody's like, "Well, are you going to talk about this?" Well, I did. So yes, that's my thoughts on Rocky Johnson. What I know about him. Some folks might know more about him than I do, but goes without being said. I'm Sailor Moon Serena, and I hope you like this film.